Here we're going to learn the shoe vanish and reappearance in the nest of boxes for the magic of recycling, environmental magic, and even for the golden rule magician. The environmental magic and the shoe vanish. It's all about packaging. Too much packaging.
Everything that we get at the store comes in packages, wrappers, boxes, and bags. You guys are wearing things that came in packaging. We call it packaging. Let me see if I can find a good example. Here's an example. This shoe came in a shoebox. Now this shoe was wrapped up in paper. Let me show you how they wrap these shoes up these days. It's called packaging, and there's probably way too much of it. I'll show you how they do this. You take a tissue paper, especially wrap the shoe like this. And some shoe stores are even using more than one piece of paper to wrap a shoe. And then they put that shoe into a shoe box that you take home with you. Now, if you go to a magic show and you end up losing your shoe, don't buy a new shoe in a box this big. This is too much packaging. And you can recognize too much packaging because inside this box is another box. And inside that box is another box. And inside that box is another box. And this is the only size box you need for a shoe. In fact, if you bring your own bag or box to the store, you can have them save even that amount of packaging, because they can put the shoe directly in your bag or box. Wait a minute. There's a shoe in here. It looks like your shoe. It smells like your shoe too. Heads, catch. Let's give him a hand for helping me with his shoe. So the next time you go to the store and you buy anything at all, think about Steffan's shoebox and ask yourself, is that the right amount of packaging? Or is it way too much? A ridiculous amount of packaging, like my shoebox here. That way, you can choose to buy things that come in fewer packages, in less packaging. That will send a signal to the people who make things that they need to make things that come in the right amount of packaging. Because everything we use is like this rope. It has a beginning and an end. I used to think the beginning is you buy it at the store, then you use it and you throw it away in the trash, and that's the end. Nowadays, we recycle so much stuff that when we go to the stores, we can find things that...
Now we're going to take a good look at how this is done. First of all, when you wrap the second one around it, you've already switched at that point. And you always want to pick up the tip over vanish. Pick it up all the way before you put the shoe, which is now the switched shoe. The spectator's shoe is already in the box. And then you do the tip over vanish. Tip over vanish can be set down on the ground. And it's big enough for quite a bit of stuff to fit in, so it's multi-purpose. Shoe fits in there. And when you turn it toward the audience, the heavy weight now is going to fall down, and then the bottom one, which becomes the top, flips down very quickly. It's lightweight compared with the heavy one, which is on the underside because it has the big box. The box that holds the shoe. And you can see that box here and there in this video. On purpose, we want you to see it so you know how this is done. There it is there. just briefly. Handling this tip over is important, and you can even put a white tissue in there if you want to, so that it looks like the shoe disappeared but the tissue was left behind, and it kind of distracts us from the big back side with the shoe that's hanging there. This kind of distracts from that. So that's a good idea. Then you have to pull the shoe out one at a time, and that's, of course, with a nest of boxes. The nest of boxes makes that switch possible. That hole, you push the spectator's shoe into that inner box, the fourth box, with the lid on the left. And then, when you pull out the spectator's shoe, box after box after box, it's already in there at that point. You put this one inside the tip over. Tip over vanish box. So it's important to work on that switch, to really work on it so it looks perfect. Now, I showed the old live version, and that one has it pretty darn good. So the nest, one after another, just stacks upward, and then the last one, as you reach in, you put the top on the box, and then you make it look like it was all sealed up, but it really wasn't. You just fumble it together there, and then you somehow get the shoe out and show it to the audience. And that is really fun because of the smell joke, and then you actually give back the shoe to the actual person.
Everything we get at the store comes in packages, wrappers, boxes, and bags. You guys are wearing things that came in packaging. We call it packaging. Let me see.
So now take a look as we again look at this entire routine, but then after it, take a look at how it fits in with the ropes, the chair balance, and then the rings. It's really an amazing thing to see how this routine leads into the last three effects of the entire presentation. Take a look.
Tissue paper, especially wrap the shoe like this. And some shoe stores are even using more than one piece of paper to wrap the shoe. And then they put that shoe into a shoe box that you take home with you. Now, if you go to a magic show and you end up losing your shoe, don't buy a new shoe in a box this big. This is too much packaging. And you can recognize too much packaging because inside this box is another box. And inside that box is another box. And inside that box is another box. And this is the only size box you need for a shoe. In fact, if you bring your own bag or box to the store, you can have them save even that amount of packaging, because they can put the shoe directly in your bag or box. Wait a minute. There's a shoe in here. It looks like your shoe. It smells like your shoe too. Heads, catch. Let's give him a hand for helping me with his shoe. So the next time you go to the store and you buy anything at all, think about Steffan's shoebox and ask yourself, is that the right amount of packaging? Or is it way too much? A ridiculous amount of packaging, like my shoebox here. That way, you can choose to buy things that come in fewer packages, in less packaging. That will send a signal to the people who make things that they need to make things that come in the right amount of packaging. Because everything we use is like this rope. It has a beginning and an end. I used to think the beginning is you buy it at the store, then you use it and you throw it away into the trash, and that's the end. Nowadays, we recycle so much stuff that when we go to the stores, we can find things that we need already that are made out of recycled materials. When we buy those things, it's called closing the loop. Looks like that, because you end up with an endless road. Goes around forever, like a circle, a cycle. Here I have the ends. I'm going to put them back on the rope, wind them around where they melt, right back onto the rope. Hey, I'm going to tie them into a knot. This will hold them into place. Hold them on the rope where they belong. Now, if we don't recycle, if we don't reuse things, we cut the life of our products and resources in half, or worse. By recycling, reducing waste, and reusing things, and by buying things at the store that are made from recycled materials, we make everything last as long as it can. Hey, I'm going to make an example out of somebody. I need a gymnast, a balancer, somebody who has a little bit of balance. I bet you all of you can do this. How about you in the white shirt right there, the girl right there? Come on up. Hi, what's your name? Brittany. What a coincidence. My name is Steffan. Good to meet you, Brittany. I changed it from Steffan to Steffan years ago. Now, Brittany, let's take a look here. I'd like you to help me recycle these things, okay? So come over here. Take this magazine and place it in the recycling bin, would you? Take the gift, here, come over this way. Take the gift wrapping paper, place it in the recycling bin. The paper bag, the envelope, Brittany. The cardboard and the calendar, carefully place it in there. This paper tree will sit on the side, Brittany. Now listen, when you have things that are too big for the bin, it gets to the point, Brittany, where you absolutely have to save space. This will fit in there. The bottle, the tin can. One way to save space is to take your aluminum and crunch that aluminum down. Here's how I like to do it, Brittany. Watch. You want to try? Good. Brittany's very wise. Only a trained professional should ever attempt such a thing. Ever. Okay, Brittany, come over here. I have a makeshift table. And this makeshift table is just a board across some chairs, and that'll work here. I'd like you to come around the front. Supports things, but don't try this without me. I'll hold the board so nothing happens. Have a seat right here. Like last time. Okay, good. Now turn your feet this way. All the way up. And scoot back towards me. Scoot back, 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 back. Right. A little 1 inch more. Right there. And lay down. Lean back and relax. Put your hands together like this. That's right. And pray that nothing goes wrong. While I cover you. And cover you this way. Here's her feet. Here's her head. Smile. Very good. Stay right there, Brittany. Brittany is balanced on the board that's held up by the 2 chairs. She's part of a delicate balance. But because she recycled all that stuff, Brittany has an amazing balance. Watch. Don't move, Brittany. She's balancing really well. You guys, this is amazing. I just moved the chair over. Whoa, wait a second. Lift your feet. Not your head. Just relax. I can't believe it. Brittany is balancing better than I thought she could. I can take this board right out. Brittany is balanced on the edge of her chair. In midair. Hello? Don't move, Brittany. I better put this board back before she wakes up and starts giggling. Stop giggling. Lift your feet. Yes. I'm going to put the board back, put the chair back, and Brittany is safe. Once again, you can sit up, turn to the audience, and dive off. Your thunderous applause! Good job, Brittany. Very well done. She has that amazing balance, you see, that we all have to find with our environment. Now it's time for me to summarize everything I've been explaining today, and that means it's time for you to memorize what these rings represent. There are 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings. Just going to use the first 2. And all of the 6th graders have to memorize all 6 of the rings. If you have any questions, you can ask them. Later, they will memorize them. The first ring is the ring of you. Us, all of us. I call it the ring of you. Second, everything we use. All of our cans, bottles, glass, aluminum, shoes, shoelaces. You and everything that we use are linked. One securely linked to the other. To get them apart, I simply give them a twist and they melt apart. Watch the top ring as it goes right through. If I reach through this ring and pull the other, they come apart. Okay, we're going to add to this chain of 2. I know you've memorized the ring of you, everything we use, and now we add our commitment. And in Kitsap County, we are committed. We are committed to reducing our waste, the 4th ring. As soon as you find a new way to reduce waste, that will affect the entire waste stream. And it's as if you are helping the entire world. And you are. The 5th ring is the ring of reusing things. And we've talked about reusing bottles and cardboard, paper. The 6th ring is the ring of recycling. It goes on top and completes the team of the recycling ring. But everything depends on you. You are the most important link in the chain, and that's why I'm here, to remind you how important you are. So I'm going to pull the ring of you right through the other 5 rings. It's 3 inches of steel. And thank you for helping me. Thanks, that's the end, you guys. Let's hear it. To the end. Thank you very much. I just want to say that you've been a fantastic audience with great attention. You've been listening and absorbing the ideas that I've been presenting, which is awesome. The Kitsap County Solid Waste has paid for this performance. There's a lot that happens behind the show that puts this whole thing together. And one of them is that the people who collect waste and manage waste want us to understand this. So when you go back to your class and you think about this show and you talk about the magic, pay special attention to how the magic communicates the ideas that we want to learn.
Let's give Steffan and Kitsap County Solid Waste a real nice high round of applause. Okay, the way I try to show our appreciation at this school is instead of